One of the things of many I like about the NHL, and know Dennis does also, is that everything is different every day, every night, going into another day. There's so much to talk about, and today is no different. We're going to trump politics, and we're going to stay with the NHL. Ryan Paton, he's Dennis Bernstein of the fourth period. This is the latest, and of course, it's brought to you as always by CCM Hockey. All right, DB, let's dive right into it. The Colorado Avalanche came in with a lot of expectations. The season has not gone the way that they wanted it to date so far. However, Nate McKinnon's playing well. Cam Makar is playing well also. When Mikko Rantanen, when he will provide the help coming back for Colorado, do they now get back to that elite contender status that we all think they should be in?
Not really. Pace. Well, first of all, they have to be at full health. Remember, Nichushkin's still suspended. It looks like he'll come back around the 15th. That's fine. The missing Mile Woods, the missing Ross Colton, who had a really good start. But I go to the goaltending, Pates. They are last in the league in goals against. And normally you would say, okay, it's not just a goalie. You never lay it on a goal. When a team is that poor defensively, it's got to be structure. It's got to be the commitment to playing defense. It's got to be a lot of things that align. Well, I'll tell you, Pates, that's probably not the case, and here's why. The Colorado Avalanche are second in the league in shot suppression. Only the Carolina Hurricanes have given up less than the Colorado Avalanche with respect to shots per game. It's the goaltending. And whether it's John Gibson when he gets healthy or maybe, Marc-Andre Fleury or someone like that, they need to fix the goaltending. And so they are an elite team when everybody's healthy offensively. You're not an elite team defensively. And I think some of it, and I think you'll reference it, is a couple seasons ago when they won the Stanley Cup, they didn't have a Vezina winner in between the pipes. They had Darcy Kemper, who made the saves he needed to make, and he was good enough to win a title. Right, so that's not the case right now. So I think they have to fix that. Certainly, if they really want to play with the big boys in the West this year.
Yeah, it's a different season, a different team for sure. They got to fix their way in goal. The average ice time, I believe, for a top line player in the NHL is somewhere between 19 minutes and 20 seconds to about 22 and a half minutes. Let's talk about Martin Necas. He wanted ice time, and since he's asked for that, he's really performed. If he maintains this, kind of like the same thing with the Avalanche, does this change the Canes' trajectory as being kind of a top contender as well?
Well, if they're going to get more than a point-a-game player out of Marty Necas for 82 games, yeah, they're a contender.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about the Carolina Hurricanes. What do we know about them, Pates? They still play good defense.
They do. Always have.
The third in goals against in the league. They still shot suppress. They lead the league in shot suppression. I don't think anybody's shocked about that. So they're playing to the DNA. Now, what are they getting on top of that for this start? They're getting depth scoring. Like Jack Roslovic's on pace for 52 goals. I'll bet the under on that. Right.
Yeah,
and guys like Jason Blake, who came in as an unheralded, fourth round pick, has come in. Robinson's done very, very well. They're getting their depth scoring. I still think they're a forward short. I think when you get to the trade deadline, if you want to eat another winger with scoring touch on this team, I think that's it. But when you play Carolina Hurricanes hockey and you play to your DNA, you start very well. You're going to be in every game, Paige. You're not going to blow out people, but except for the Boston game, which was an anomaly. But this is a dangerous team. But I will say this. I picked them 2 seasons in a row in the Stanley Cup. I couldn't do it a third year in a row. But this start is really, really good. I still think the class of the Metro is the Devils and the New York Rangers. Mm-hmm. But certainly this is a great start. I just question if they're going to continue to get this depth scoring because they're 5th in the league in scoring, which is not normally what you think about the Carolina Hurricanes.
No, more of a defensive-minded team, and they do that over the course of the 60 minutes plus if need be, and they grab a win. Last one, McDavid is back. No surprise. The guy was skating the day after he got injured. He went back to Edmonton. Everybody was up in arms thinking, oh my goodness, he's gone for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So does this mean now Edmonton, with this time that McDavid has been off, not very long, but just kind of a wake-up call to say, okay, we now have the best player in the world back. Yeah. Now it's time to really get moving.
Yeah, it helps their confidence. But Pates, I think that, and look, there's always going to be angst in Edmonton. I get it. I've been in that market every playoff round for the last 3 years with respect to LA and was there for the Cup final. But the way last season laid up, I think buys them currency for this season because what happened last season? Terrible start. The coach gets fired. They get really hot. They get a commitment to defense. The goaltending shows up, and they get basically 2 goals away from winning the Stanley Cup. I think that buys them time here because nobody's going to panic because the team can say externally, look what happened last season. Same thing. It's 12, 14 games in. It means nothing. I don't think the team had any more confidence because Connor's different, right? He's cut differently, right? Like Patrick Mahomes, Monday Night Football, goes down with his ankle. People, he's out of the game. Yeah. Next set of downs, he's back in. Same with Connor. 2 to 4 weeks. Yeah, Connor said, I've got a different idea. So he's built differently, right? But they didn't play they didn't play that many games without him to say, okay, this is a really confident team that believes they could win without Connor. That's not what happened. They won a couple of games. Leon was really good against Nashville. And Pates, if you don't bet Leon Draisaitl against Nashville for an anytime goal in their next game in November, like you're leaving money on the table. So I don't think there's any panic there. I think they're still playing good enough defense. Like they got goalie against New Jersey and Jake Allen. So I wouldn't. It's a situation where I'm not worried about it because of their start last season, and they transition to being a really good team. Plus, if you look at the Pacific, Pates, other than Vegas, who can't lose a home game but can't win a road game. I mean, the Kings are at the top of the division. It's not a very competitive division. It's not something where you have to worry about falling behind. I think there's some regression with respect to Vancouver. Who knows what's going on with Thatcher Demko, the regression we've seen from Elias Pettersson. So there's no reason to panic. Like when the push comes to shove at game 80, 82, I think they'll still be playing for the division title if not won it already. So I don't think there's any panic. But I will say this, Pates. People forget, they're the oldest team in the league. They average over 30 years old.
I was one who forgot that.
Yeah, this is not some young team. They're going for it. The window's wide open. They added guys like Skinner and Arvidsson who are proven finishers. Maybe lost something on the speed side because guys like McLeod and Fogler are gone from the team. But again, this is it's in their window. I wouldn't worry about it. I think when we get down to the Final Four in the West, they'll be one of those teams there as well.
3-9-1 start last season, not as good start either this season, but it's a different division. If they were in say the Metro, I think the panic level would be a bit higher than it would be right now in Edmonton, but they still panic because, as you said, that's what they do. Again, that's the latest here in the NHL. Lots to come on the Wednesday, of course, and keep it locked to fourthperiod.com for more information and all the latest stories too around the NHL. For Dennis Bernstein, I'm Ryan Paton. This has been the latest, brought to you by CCM Hockey.